Beautiful. All right. You ready?
I'm so ready.
You ready for the readiness of the ready?
I'm ready for the readiness of the ready.
Amazing. All right. Welcome to Here's the Deal, where we talk about hair and just about everything else. Who the fuck are you?
Dodge spray, backcomb, keratin, herringbone, scrunch, dry, faux hawk, quiff, waft, don't go bald. Here's the deal.
Well, you invited me here, so I hope you would know who I am.
I do.
My name is Aaliyah. I'm Brittany's best friend and also her #1 fan and client. So here I am.
Yes.
That's why I get this kind of honor to be on the show.
The VIP treatment, if you will.
Exactly.
She got a massage before this.
Right. Her little minions were taking care of me, hand and
foot
foot.
rub, all of it, you know. So if you want to come on the pod, you get wonderful treatment.
So true. I mean, like, look at the wine, so that's a perk.
That is a perk.
For sure.
Yes. Yeah, Shelby and Victoria are very busy. Let's be real. Life is busy. Life is crazy. They're out being successful women and doing their things and having lives and stuff. And they're obviously still going to be on the pod a ton. But we're going to have to pull out a few little segments of, you know, just other little wishy-washy things to do, other little fun, random things. And I figure, what better way to like have fun and have like something different and new than to have one of my best friends / clients on and talk about our experiences with hair in general.
I'm very excited.
Yay! How long have I done your hair for?
You've done my hair since, I would say, 2016 when you first started getting into hair. Because when we were 17, you started receptioning at Salon.
Ooh.
And I think that's what really, like, kind of, like, catapulted you into, like, really thinking about wanting to do hair. But even before then, when you were really still thinking about, like, okay, well, I'm in my cosmetology program at school. I kind of want to mess around with this and see where it goes. A lot of times I'd be your guinea pig.
Yeah.
Because
pretty much every time, I feel like.
Yeah. Pretty much every time. Every time I wanted my hair done, I was like, so, do you think you can do this? And you were like, I absolutely can. So we would go to Sally's and we would just load up with every random product ever. And I would sit in her bathroom, head in the
sink or in the tub
with like plastic grocery bags. Like, it was real DIY, and it was, I trusted you. And I mean, I'm still here today, and I'm not bald. You. I trusted you, but I'm not bald, so I think that's a testament to the journey.
Yeah, quite the opposite. Your hair looks beautiful.
Thank you.
And you styled it very nice today.
I had to style it today because I couldn't be on the hair podcast with a hairstylist and look like shit. Especially since I am your best friend. I can't, like, be walking around.
Thank you for representing me well. You're my walking billboard.
I have to be a living testament to, like, what you're doing out here.
If you walked around with, like, your hair basically, like, falling out or in, like, a messy bun and looking, like, all cracked out, I would be very sad. So I'm very glad that your hair never looks bad, though. You do a very good job taking care of your hair.
I try.
Get you a best friend who knows how to take care of their hair, because that would be very unfortunate.
I do my best out here.
Do you remember the first time that I ever did your hair? Do you remember what we did? Because I think I remember.
I don't remember if this was necessarily the first time, but, you know, we can paint the scene. It was...
I know you were thinking about the same thing.
Yes, we're definitely thinking about the same thing, and I think this was probably 2017, and it was when she first got, like, a actual stylist chair. RIP to that thing. Don't know what happened.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. I forgot about that. I will tell the story, because this was, I think it was when I was 17, so this was before hair school or anything. And my parents bought me a whole literal, like, salon chair. Like, pumps up, spins, and everything. So that I could do my friends' and family's hair at home. Mm-hmm. And a little wash basin that connected. Like, if you had a detachable shower head, it would, like, there was, like, a little tube that went into the bathtub. But you set it up, and I could lean back in my little chair. So I still had, like, an actual, like, salon setup. It was crazy. When I was 17 years old, and people trusted me. I can't believe that. Okay, sorry.
It was giving Barbie life in the dream house.
It was really Barbie life in the dream house.
It was like all of like my little like hair care things for my Barbies when I was little. It was like blown up version of that, and that was like so cool to see because I was like, oh my god, this is like a real thing you can like, go buy.
Girlhood, childhood,
and like you had that, and like I said, I wasn't sure if this was the first time, but I, for whatever reason, wanted to go blonde which is horrifying and should never be a sentence that could come out of somebody who has dark hair's mouth, honestly, because it never ends well. At least for me. So, yeah, we did like a little of like a balayage type of action, but at the end...
It was like when ombre was pretty like...
Yes.
Like balayage was coming in, but like ombre was like the thing.
Yes, this was the prelude to balayage.
Prelude to balayage,
Prelude to balayage. Like, and I ended up like loving it. Because I was 16 also, so I was like, this is the first time my hair's ever looked different. My parents were not the ones to really, like, want me to dye my hair or really, like, do anything to change it. So this was my first real breakaway of, like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to try this, and they supported me, and we just went into that. But looking back, the top was, like, brown. The bottom was, like, untoned blonde, and we thought we did that shit.
We thought we did that shit. So, for... Context. We did like the foils and whatnot, and then if you have ever been to Sally's and you've ever wanted to be blonde and you've ever needed a toner and you know nothing about hair, because at the time, like, let's be real, like I didn't know what I was doing. I only was picking up from like watching Stylist at the salon. But as far as like, that's how you learn. So. But as far as like, so that was all only like technique. But as far as color theory went, I knew nothing. And color theory is, like, pretty important. So I went and I got, and this is, like, a niche thing, but, like, I went and I got, every single time I did somebody's hair at the house, I would go get bleach, and I would go get a T18, I think it was T18, Wella, I think it was, toner, or glaze, or whatever. And that's, like, literally like one of the lightest and like most silver toners you could get. So like I was using it on yours. I probably lifted her to like a level 8, and I was using like a toner that wasn't even gonna touch that, and so it literally didn't tone it at all. It was just like basically natural lift.
My hair when it lifts looks like the shittiest like coppery blondie, like bad, just like imagine the worst like bleach and tone you've ever seen in your life. It's what my hair looks like when you lift it now.
Yeah, because your natural color. Because your hair's so dark that it only gets to that like 7-8 like range naturally, or within like one session.
Right.
And I'm not bleaching over your hair twice ever. I'm never bleaching your hair again, honestly, unless we're doing something like, I don't know. But we'll probably never have to bleach your hair again, will we?
No. Yeah. And to be fair, I say I would never let you again, not because of your skill and ability.
No, because you don't
the fragility of my hair.
Because you don't want to, because you know.
Because I know better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we've come a long way. Because it looks fine now. So. Well, I should say it looks good now, but that's not what I meant to say.
It looks fine now.
It's okay, I guess.
It looks fine now. So, what's your favorite style that you've ever had? Or color, style, like what's your favorite thing that you've ever done with your hair?
I will say the last time we did my hair.
This is a collective, your hair is my hair, I hope you know, actually.
I did like 2 entire rows of K-tips that were like 26 inches long, right?
24
inches long. It felt longer, but we did 24-inch long K-tips, and I did black and I did blonde. So it was very like Monster High moment. And
it was Monster High. That's a really good way to put it.
One of my coworkers said I looked like I was from Monster High, and I was like, that's the highest compliment you could ever
give me.
No,
for real. That is so kind. Awesome. Thank you.
Literally the kindest thing anyone could say to me. And I think that was the most fun. And I knew that, like, I probably wouldn't do something that bold again, at least for a long time. So when I have those moments where I'm having kind of an iconic moment, I like to revel in it.
Yes.
And really enjoy it. And I really enjoyed every minute of that hair. I got so many compliments on it. It was so much fun. Yeah. So that was my favorite hair you've ever done.
Honestly, that was awesome. My favorite hair that I've ever done on you, too. Yeah. Because, and I still have, and I'll find pictures. If I can find a picture of that old color, that like the first color we did, because I know there were pictures. Are you okay with me, like, putting it in the video? Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. Like, it was really awesome. You should have her do your hair like that, because it was so much fun, and you get no bleach damage with that kind of thing.
Yeah, see, that's the best part. And also, I was talking about, like, the first. Like, I'm talking about, like, the first time we did your hair ever. Like that picture. You know what pictures I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. That. But, yeah, I mean, if you want her to do that, I'm sure she could too.
But can I put the picture in?
Absolutely, yeah, okay. Put the
I just want to make sure before I'm like, hey, everybody, look at this.
Like, expose me, honestly. Expose us. Like, I'm repenting.
Everybody needs
I've been repenting for my sins for a long time, so.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But no, I still have the TikTok of when I did your hair like that. And I still get, like, it didn't go viral or anything. Like, it's not like it's got a ton of views. But I get likes on it every single day.
I mean,
every single day.
Ego, so.
It boosts my ego, too. I'm like...
It's a win-win situation.
All right, thank you. And I did. We made... I took videos for this past past hair thing that we did on you, and I still haven't posted it, so I need to do that. But
okay, that's okay.
We'll do it eventually.
Yep,
we will.
See, like, doing this podcast is so fun together because we spend so much time together just being feral and goofy that being in this setting where I feel like, you know, we're having to answer questions and like keep things along. I'm a big rabbit trail type person when it comes to just speaking about anything. I'm just like, okay, well, we were talking about this. Now let me just go on 8 million different side quests. So like staying focused.
It's okay.
Just like
you don't
staring.
Have to stay focused at all.
I'm like looking at her like, yeah, like really just intently into the eyes. So
there is no such thing as being focused on this podcast. I never even lit this candle. See, we're not focused.
I mean, do you have a lighter? I'll light it.
I do have a lighter. It's in my little.
Somebody put on some smooth jazz music while I light it. Do it slow motion.
We'll zoom in.
Oh my god, this is like...
Actually, it doesn't have a lot of juice in it, so it might not work.
It's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work.
I often have to hold it upside down. Yep. There it is. Ooh, you hear the crackle?
I just wish every candle made that crackle noise.
Me too.
Forever.
Now we're cozy. Are you ready for fall?
Yes.
I'm so ready for fall.
Very ready for fall.
It is August in Georgia, and Satan's ass crack is spread wide open for everyone to see.
It's the days of summer, for sure.
It is. It's like at that point of the summer where it's like if I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to talk about like seasonal depression, and then I was like, if I had summer seasonal depression, this is when it would hit the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely it does.
It's just awful. This is like the January, February of summer. Because like January and February to me are the worst in the winter.
Absolutely. I would say I like January for the sake of the fact that I was born. So like
you've got your birthday, you've got something to look forward to.
March and what is it called? February are
March.
probably my least favorite, just because March is the one where it like really just gives you like emotional whiplash. You're like ready for it to be warm.
It drags.
Yes, and it drags. Because you're like, one day it's 30 degrees, one day it's like 60, and you're like, finally, I can get out of my seasonal depression whole and just really like live it up. And
then the next day it's like 17 degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't even think it gets down to 17 degrees in Georgia, actually.
I mean, you know what? Some days I feel like the days where I'm feeling the shittiest, it's the day that it feels that way, at least.
It does. It always feels that way. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for
pumpkins. Yes. I'm ready for scary things. I'm not a scary thing person.
I want to do scary things this year.
I will go do scary things. And I will say, like, I am not a horror movie type person, which doesn't make any sense as to why I would actually even be okay with going to a haunted house, because it's like a horror movie in real life. Why am I subjecting myself to that?
Right.
But I always get roped into one of those things.
Yeah. And you're not, well, I love you, but you fend for yourself when you're in those situations.
I will fight for my life in a haunted house.
And here's the thing. I love Aaliyah with everything that is in me, and I would choose to be with her in those, if I were actually in a dire situation, I would choose to be with her in those situations, not because she would help me, but because I love her, and you know what, I'd risk it for the biscuit, and I'd die for her, and if I'm gonna die, I want to be with her, but I know I will die because she's gonna push me into the killer's mouth.
It's very true. I don't have any sense of loyalty when it comes to anything scary. I have pushed down children in the, your local small town, like, corn maze.
I'm gonna clip that so it just says, I have pushed down children.
I have. Sorry. And you know what? I didn't even mean to.
And you know what?
The bitch was in my way, and she had to die. Like, the chainsaw murderer killer was coming for me. She was running too slow. So, I mean, like, better you than me, baby. So
I agree.
I was like, see ya.
I also will never forget the time that we went with your family to the corn maze, and there was a haunted house at the corn maze, or haunted forest, or whatever you want to call it, like, same spiel, basically. And for some reason, the chainsaw guy is always the scariest because you can hear him before you see him, you know?
It's like, it really triggers something primal in the fight or flight
It does. Your fight or flight, like, it takes one rip of that chainsaw and it is activated.
And I'm like, I will literally... it does not matter. I will survive. Like, my survival
instinct. You will survive. And I don't know what my instinct is, because apparently it's just like hole up and die. But I remember standing in line, and you were in the middle, and I was on one side, and your brother was on the other side. And you, like, I have to demonstrate this because of how ridiculous it was. You were standing in the middle. We were on either side of you, and you put both of your hands out, wingspan, pushed us both back, and ran as fast as you could, and I ended up falling over. And not only did like Lucas jump over me, or like your aunt jump over me, like everyone jumped over me and didn't like come to save me as they were running out.
I did push you to the ground, and I'm sorry
you did, but you know what? It was very funny.
Didn't your glasses break when that happened?
It was very possible. I don't honestly remember many things.
So not only will I, like, hurt small children to get to safety, I will push down the only person I care about.
Exactly. So no one's safe. Like, no one's special, really. Yeah. I respect that, because you don't play favorites when it comes to life or death.
I will say, like, I do have some bad karma when it comes to haunted forests, corn mazes, haunted houses, anything like that, because I typically get abused by other people when I'm in them. And I think that's just my karma for pushing all of my beloveds to the ground. Because I've had a couple experiences where like, you know, like those little, like, tunnels where it's like you have to walk through them, but it, like, creates an illusion that makes you feel like you're off balance.
Yes, those
so
are the worst.
There was, like, a clown on this bridge that I was going through.
Absolutely
and
not.
I was trying to scrape past him, but I literally fell on top of him. Couldn't get off of him because I was, like, freaking out, and then, like, I couldn't get up, and I'm like... totally full on.
Where was this?
Netherworld.
I knew it.
And, you know, the guy can't touch you, so he's like... And I'm like, oh my god, like, get off of me. I'm like, please, like, I will do anything. And I finally get off of him and scurry away. But then I had another incident at a different haunted house where I was next to, like, some gigantic mammoth of a man. And I was like, cool, I'm safe. Like, we're good. Like, let's get through this. But it was, like, you know, one of those outdoor ones. So it had, like, kind of, like, the cinder block walls and kind of things draped strategically to make you feel like you're somewhere else. Sure. It was a zombie theme. So, like, we're about to get started. Our tour guide's right there. This zombie comes out of nowhere. This man bodies me into the wall. Like, I'm telling you, my head hit the concrete wall. My arm hit it. Like, he crushed me. And I was so, like, furious and in so much pain that that was the only haunted house I wasn't scared to go through because I was so pissed. I just walked through all of those people and I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and just, like, left. I don't even know if I can cuss on this podcast.
You can.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
I've already given you a lot to censor, so.
I love it. No, I won't censor it.
I'm not innocent in the haunted house type deal. I have gotten my my karma with that, so.
Well, you know, it always comes back to you, which I love.
I mean, I guess I need to learn to be nicer, but I just don't know if that'll happen.
Nah.
Fuck them.
With where I'm at in life right now, I don't feel that. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that topic. I do want to ask you one last thing about hair, which is, like, this is, like, a hard thing to probably, like. Sorry, I can hear my father speaking. It's probably a hard thing to, like, imagine, because, like, really you're only, like, pre high school, your only like hair salon experiences, like, before me.
Yeah.
So, but, like, imagine I'm not your hairstylist.
Okay.
And you're going to a salon for the first time to go, like, see a stylist. What would be, like, the main things that you're looking for that would, like, make you want to stay with that stylist?
That's a good question.
Like, salon-wise, stylist-wise.
So, okay, if I'm going to go down the list, I would want the salon staff, before I even speak to the stylists themselves, to be extremely friendly and answer all of my questions. I typically am not one to have a lot of questions. I'm more of, like, I get it, like, you do you, like, you know, like, I just want to get an appointment, like, I don't even care, like, I won't even bother you with questions. I'm just trying to get there.
On the books.
But having a salon staff that's super welcoming and super friendly upon, like, going makes a huge difference, because a lot of people do have hair anxiety or just have anxiety meeting somebody new in general. And a lot of times when you are going to see a new stylist,
that's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's like you're meeting them when you sit down in the chair and you're already, like, usually, like, you're already in it. So, like, having that, like, kind of disarming in a good way, like, kind of like, okay, I'm comfortable here. I can, you know, get my questions answered, and like I know that I'm going to be well taken care of. Is
and not seen as like a bother. Like when you ask a question, they're not like, well, but they're like happy to be like, oh, absolutely no problem. Yeah.
And I think a good reputation with not doing last minute cancellations and last minute, you know, adjustments is huge too, because I've definitely seen other people struggle with people who kind of have their business more individual, like without like that second party of like a receptionist doing the booking. A lot of times it'll be like, you know, the stylist, you know, texting the client, and sometimes I have seen people have issues with like it's the day before and they're like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like go, blah blah blah, and you know the client's feeling like well, what am I gonna do now? So I think like having that reputation up front means a lot and like can go a long way.
It's already like easing things for you, making you like happier to be there.
So that atmosphere and kind of like that reputation of just, you know, being super professional up front is extremely important, because that kind of makes you feel like you're gonna be just taken care of. And then as far as like a stylist goes, you really want to, I really look for, like, I know that like in just the hair world in general, they really push you to be very prominent on social media, posting your hair, posting this, posting that. And I think that does make a huge difference as a client, because when you are going and looking for a stylist, you want to see what work they do.
Yeah.
And that's more than just blondes, or more than just cuts, or more than just extensions. Like seeing a stylist portfolio that's very well rounded and getting the opportunity to be like, hey, like, you know, maybe I just want a haircut, or, you know, like a glaze, which is not super exciting, but seeing that they posted that work and being like, hey, that looks like what I want my hair to look like. And all different types of people, shades, colors, textures, everything, like makes me feel like, okay, like this person is someone who can handle all types of hair. And also I see my hair type, or somebody who's like my skin color, or like, you know, things like that. So I kind of know what's going to look good on me based off of like what other clients have done with that individual. So I think that's really what I look for, is somebody who's really well-rounded, and somebody who I know can get the job done, instead of having like maybe like 6 pictures up of like their best work ever. It's like showing the mundane, boring cuts and styles. Like sometimes I want a boring cut and style. And, like, I want to see that be presented, so that way I can be like, okay, well, you know, of course you need to know how to do those things, and that goes without saying, but being able to see it can sometimes take away some of the anxiety of being like, what is my hair going to turn out like with this person? Because we all see online, TikTok, anywhere like that, where it's like, oh, I went in for a trim and I got a bob. A fuck-ass bob. And that's not what I asked for. So just knowing that, like, you know, you're not going to walk out with that kind of scenario. Yeah. Somebody who can really take that, like, what you want and really turn it into what you want. Yeah. I think is huge. And I think seeing that diversity in haircut, style, color, boring, super exciting or not, I think that shows that, like, that's something that can happen.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, social media is a huge... I get a lot of clients through social media. And I didn't think I would. I thought, I was like... And even if I do, like, who are they going to be? But usually, like, the people... Like, clients or stylists usually have a target clientele. Like, there are certain people that I prefer doing their hair. Absolutely. Just because I'm more skilled at it. Like, I will do everything more rounded. But usually the people who I'm, like, more targeted towards, I find through social media. Right. Which is so nice.
And I think with, like, what you're saying, too, a good thing to add is, like, I love a stylist that's upfront and honest. Yeah. I think a lot of people promise more than they can deliver, because at least I'm kind of a personality that it's like, I want to diffuse any awkwardness, and I don't like to disappoint. And I know that if I was a stylist, that could be a hard point for me to, like, not promise more than I can deliver. But let's say I'm reaching out to you on social media and I don't know you, and I'm saying, hey, you know, I have, you know, 25-inch jet black hair, naturally like that, and I want to go platinum blonde and like blah blah blah. I would love having a really like a response where it's like, it's not taking a whole week for you to get back to me, somebody who's really quick with the DMs, especially because this is the day and age we live with. We are on social media all the time. Having that quick response shows me like, okay, you care about your business and you want the clients. Even if you're like, hey, I responded to you in like 24 hours, but I can't book you for the next 6 weeks. It just shows that you care about me as a potential client. And also if I said that in my, you know, DM saying like, this is what I want to do, just being honest and being like, hey, like, you know, I just that's honestly not something that I know could be possible, but maybe we could go these routes and giving me like options and stuff like that, and educating me at the same time, because I know like in one of your episodes you were talking about educating your clients, and sometimes that can not be always taken the right way depending on the personality, but like for me, like honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like that's something that I would value as a client.
Yeah. And there's a difference between like honest and being like harsh, you know.
Exactly.
Like, and that's the difference between like educating versus like just denying, you know, instead of being like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, you know, being like, oh, well, unfortunately that's not plausible. This is what we can do. Like, there's such a big difference. And I feel like clients nowadays, or not clients, stylists nowadays are so harsh because they're like, how do you not know that you can't go blonde after you put like box dye on your hair? But it's like, how would a client know? Like, you didn't go to hair school.
Yeah. And I think that like I've been really lucky in my experience with hairstylists, even outside of you, because I've worked at the, you know, same
the
salon like company as you did, as a I don't even know what my job description. Yes, an assistant. And I got the experience and the privilege of meeting so many different stylists. Yeah. I've been a part of the business, and like I've gotten the privilege of meeting so many amazing women who really care about their clients, and I've never met anybody that really made me feel like, oh my god, I'd be scared if they did my hair.
Right.
And like I feel like you guys do a really good job at like laying that all out on the line, even when you get surprised by something, like if they, you know, didn't tell you they had box dye on their hair,
right,
something like that. But I mean, it goes vice versa. Honesty is the best policy. As a client, always tell your stylist what's going on with your hair. Is the same thing like going to the doctor. You tell them the truth if you smoke or drink. Like, it's the same thing. Tell them the truth if you put box dye on your hair, because it makes a difference at the end of the day of how they can treat your hair, treat you, and like know what to charge you for, what kind of service, so you're not surprised when you get hit with like a bigger bill than you thought you were going to get, because that stylist had to take 6 hours instead of 4 hours on your hair to do all of that. So honesty is always the best policy across the board. So
you're so smart.
I mean, I was educated very well. See, I'm an educated client, because I have definitely got the harsh like, no babe, like that's not gonna happen. And that's actually helped me a lot. I wouldn't say harsh, but the tough love, being like,
well, I can be harsher with you because you aren't, well, you're a client, but you're my best friend, so
yeah,
being harsh with you
with the hairbrush, it's okay.
Stop that. Pretty much, yeah. Aw, I love you so much.
I love you too.
You're so good. You're so great. This was the perfect, I mean, I feel like that's been a long enough like little episode. Yeah, I don't have any more questions for you. Actually, can I tell you a secret? I didn't prepare for this at all. I just pulled all of that out of my butt because...
That's amazing.
Yeah, you know. Why am I holding it like that?
Yeah, you know, I was just like, I'm really ready to like make an episode together.
Oh my gosh. No, but thank you for doing this, because we really need it.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have any last words?
Like, are you going to kill me?
Absolutely.
Just thank you for having me, and thank you for wanting me to share my... whatever little insight
your wisdom.
I have.
Your wisdom.
My wisdom. Okay, you hear that, everybody? My wisdom.
Amazing.
So,
yay.
Yay.
Thank you for watching Here's the Deal Pod. If you would like to... I like went into that like I knew what I was going to say. Thanks for watching Here's the Deal Pod. We appreciate you for watching. Next week, we might have another like client episode where it's just me and another client, and then hopefully we will be back on track with some normal episodes for you with me and Shelby and Victoria. If you want to find us on Instagram, you can find us at Here's the Deal Pod. Is also our TikTok. And feel free to let us know what you want to hear from us next. But thank you so much, sweet friend, for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate ya. Goodbye.
Bye.
Here's the deal.